ProView Networks.
Do indeed. This is one of those days, isn't it?
It could be. Yeah, it could be. You're opening your eyes. Your alarm just went off. You just got in the car, whatever it is. And you're like, yeah, let's hear about Nick Saban. All right, we'll get to Nick Saban. Bill Belichick is leaving the Patriots after 24 years. Say what? Yep. No, that's happening. Not shocking, right? Hardly stunning. Not the stunner that you heard coming out of Tuscaloosa or even Seattle yesterday with Pete Carroll, who, by the way, Pete Carroll in a normal cycle would be the headline. But here, he's page 3. Yesterday, Saban. Today, Belichick. Adam Schefter reported this morning. What time did your phone start buzzing? About 5 o'clock? All right, so those of you who got the alarm set, you already knew, huh? You're waking up, your wife's going, what the hell's wrong with your phone? Bill Belichick, parting ways with the Patriots. No shocker. I guess they're both taking the high road, him and Bob Kraft. There's a year left on the contract. According to Schefter, they will not hold him accountable for that 1 year left on his contract, nor will he demand the money. And he's free to go and do what he wants to do. And he will be, well, I'm on to Atlanta. I'm going to be on to Washington. Jeff, stop doing that damn bad Belichick. I'm on to Atlanta. Hardly shocking, huh?
Hardly shocking, but
shocking.
When you finally see it, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
It came to an end. They finally made the decision. In this offseason,
yes,
it is just insane what the decisions you're going to have to make. You're hiring a new coach because we're always focused on the young up and coming, who's the offensive minds. And then all of a sudden, they're like, Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick are out there. And it feels like they still want to coach.
Let me give you this, too. This is monumental, okay? This is monumental. And DC, you're sitting back there with a young man, Aiden, who's shadowing us. I'm going to guess he's about 17 years old. Is that about right? As he shakes his head, 16, 17. He's 17 years old. All he knows, and he's a sports dude, and whether it's your kids or whether it's you or whatever, there is a generation of people that know nothing other than Nick Saban's at Alabama, and Bill Belichick is at New England. That's all. I mean, how can it be any other way? Belichick's been there 24 years. You mean Pete Carroll coached at New England before Bill Belichick? Yes. No, that in fact happened. Yes. Yeah. No, that's true. There's documented video of that. You mean Mike Price, Dennis Franchione, the former Lobo coach, coached at Alabama before Nick Saban? There's a dude named Bear Bryant. Yeah. But there's a faction of this population, and a relevant faction of this population, I dare say, but that's all they know. And within 18 hours, these two legends, and dare I say, maybe the GOATs of their sport, maybe the best college coach ever, maybe the best pro coach ever, just stepped away from their defining positions. Not their only positions, but their defining positions. They're the positions that will define them as professionals. This is monumental. And I don't know if you'll remember, when it's all said and done, will you remember Pete Carroll more as a 2-time Super Bowl participant, 1-time champion at Seattle, or will you remember him as the guy who brought SC back? What will Pete Carroll be remembered more as a great college coach at SC, the Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush years, Lendale White, those great USC teams, the team that lost to Vince Young in that legendary Rose Bowl? Or will you remember more as the Seattle coach?
I think it's going to be Seattle coach.
I'm not certain. It might be. Maybe because the NFL is bigger and it's more recent. Like, for instance, Aiden doesn't. I mean, Aiden's like, what? He coached SC, right? Whatever, right? Your kids are like, but for us, I might remember more as SC.
I kind of lean that way as well. And I've said this before. One of the best parties I've ever thrown was at that Texas USC game, and I remember that so well. And the fact that he didn't lose for 3 years straight, it just. All these things
that he did at SC was dumb.
Yeah, it was. It was absolutely.
Well, Jeff, he cheated. Yeah, because he was the only one.
He was clearly the only one, obviously.
Yeah. I've said this before. That's the best single game I've ever been to in person.
Oh, I can only imagine.
That game was bonkers.
It was. I must have had 150 people at my parents' house.
But that was a rager.
It spilled out on the golf course
As
at
it
one
should
point.
have. As it should have. I got so much on this. Can I throw something at you? I threw it at DC earlier, and I said my thought, and we're going to clump all these together as we talk about them individually today. Does that make sense? And we're open for business for you. And I want
It's
you to get
fascinating how connected these
no doubt.
three are. Just
No
Pete
doubt.
Carroll being in New England, Nick Saban and Bill Belichick coached together
Yep.
in
Yep.
Cleveland.
And they're really tight. Yeah. Yeah. Can I throw something at you that Belichick says he's not done? Belichick will be a coach within 2 days, 3 days. But when we reconvene Monday and we're having a show on Monday, is Belichick the coach at Atlanta or Washington? I mean, what are we waiting for? The Rooney Rule, I guess.
Yeah, they'll have to interview multiple candidates. So
Okay.
The problem is that if you're employed by the NFL, you can't do a face-to-face. So you're talking about mostly college and
Well,
know,
but he's
other-
not employed anymore.
well, no, he's not. I'm just saying the other people you would be interviewing
Well,
they have to be reasonable candidates.
okay. I mean, you can still interview like Dan Quinn, from what I understand, interviewed for jobs this week.
You could do it over the phone.
Would so to satisfy the Rooney Rule, you got to be in person.
So the Rooney Rule, there's a lot to it. You have to have reasonable and serious interviews
Consideration.
with
Yeah.
with two candidates outside of like your guy,
White male.
right?
Yes.
Yes. So, and for it to be a serious interview, it has to be in person.
Okay, that I didn't know. Okay. All right. Let me get back to the premise. We all are, what, 95% convinced Belichick will be coaching in the NFL next year.
Definitely.
All right. Will Pete Carroll? By everything from what I heard yesterday, he sure as hell sounds like he wants
Yep.
to.
He still has the energy.
I've been listening to all kinds of stuff. How does he not fit with the Chargers?
Yep.
How does he not fit with the Chargers?
I mean, when you put it out there, it sounds like a perfect fit.
You know, I mean, well, I could go to Carolina. Why would anybody go to Carolina? That unless there's only 32 of those jobs, so I want to be a head coach. But
If you
tell
want to
me-
be head coach and GM,
Now, you said he's still under contract with Seattle, and he is, and he's going to stay on as a consultant analyst, whatever that role is. Which obviously he was fired. Why would they prevent him if they have the relationship they have? If he's everything that he's been to that organization that he has been, it's not even conceived, perceived. I mean, he has. Why would? I mean, it's not in the division. I mean, if they want to hire him, and because he feels perfect right now for the Chargers.
I like that a lot. If Pete Carroll would go down there, especially if you keep Kellen Moore on board,
Yes.
moving forward with that offense.
All right, let me throw one more at you. So Saban comes out of nowhere yesterday, right? The Saban thing kind of dropped. Assuming he's healthy. Does he want to go to the NFL?
No.
You say absolutely not. Why not Atlanta? Why not him in Atlanta?
The Saban one feels more,
I'm done.
yes.
So there's part of me that thinks, because somebody asked me this yesterday, why? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know Nick Saban. I don't really have a ton of connections to that program. He's done everything in 17 years. What's the one thing he didn't do? Was win the NFL. Okay. Mm-hmm. Why? Well, he didn't have a quarterback. And in fact, he wanted Drew Brees when Drew Brees was let go by the Chargers, and the doctors in Miami did not pass Drew Brees on the physical. And so he got Dante Culpepper, and Drew Brees went to New Orleans, won a Super Bowl, right? And so we've always wondered, and I'm sure he has, what if I had a quarterback? Now, here he is sitting at the top, at a place where, I don't know, maybe Atlanta can get a quarterback in the draft, whatever. My first thought yesterday was why, and would he go to? And I think of that ownership group, that new ownership group in Washington. I think the same places that are wooing Belichick, and I'm like, what's the one thing he hadn't done? And he's done everything he can at Alabama. Is he done? Is he just tired of this whole NIL transfer portal crap that's going on? And I say crap because I think a lot of the old school coaches feel that way. And does he have an opportunity maybe to go do 3 years in the NFL and prove that I can do it there too? When I said it to you, you're like, huh? You say absolutely not.
I don't feel Nick Saban feels the need to prove anything.
Fair enough.
Like, I think he's one of those coaches that tested the water. He started he coached in the NFL early on
Yeah.
in his career as a defensive coordinator in Cleveland
Yeah.
with Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes you just go live your life, man. You're 72 years old.
I think it's yes, and to you and me that makes so much sense, dude. I mean, I got all the money I could ever want. I got all the swag I can ever want. I can do anything I ever want. I want to go live my life. And then I hate saying these guys to lump everybody into one, but I think you and I know enough coaches. It's somewhat the way they're wired, right? And if it's still in them, and again, I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know. But if it's still in them, then, and that's the way you're wired, what's the one thing I haven't done?
What if he just went to work with Bill Belichick?
Okay. I'm fine with all of that. I'm fine with any of it. I just,
Be a DC.
do you think he's done being employed by football team?
Nick Saban?
Yes.
Yes.
The other two, no.
You know,
I see you thinking.
Pete Carroll said something really interesting in his press conference yesterday. He said, you can never get enough winning. It's like a drug. He's chasing it. You can never get enough
Right.
winning. And that was the most excited he was in that whole press conference.
Well, I think Pete Carroll wants to coach. And if I'm the Spanos family and I'm trying to figure out a way to get over the top with the Chargers, and I just went through young, up-and-coming Wunderkid, I got veteran coach who's been in this market, who's won at that level, the level that I'm currently at. I'm handing him the keys to something. He's and obviously dude's got something to prove and got a bunch of energy, who is pretty much loved in that market. By the way, if you want to sway a few of those Ram fan or people over to be Charger fans, all those SC people would come over and start to love on the Chargers a little bit, maybe spend some money and buy your ticket. Like to me, when I heard this yesterday, first of all, I think it's so short-sighted by Seattle. I just do. I think it's ownership group, and all they see is the number 72 years old as a coach. Okay, and I get it, JJ. You're not wrong. At 72, I'm hoping I'm retiring to my big house in Jupiter, Florida, too, or wherever I want to be. But if I want to work, and if I still think I can, it's interesting. Will someone give you an opportunity? I mean, people just see a number. I've seen it in this industry, that industry, every industry. Oh, well, you hit a certain number. It's the old guy. You're the old guy. Okay, dude was still getting results. I mean, the job that he's done with I mean, let's be honest. A marginal Geno Smith was fine last year. He wasn't good this year. And to have them on the precipice, got knocked out in a tiebreaker, he can coach. The Chargers make so much sense to me.
Chargers are a great option for Pete Carroll because you're looking for now.
Yes.
Take that step.
Yes.
Not, let's come in, establish something, yada, 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 draft a quarterback, and go in and win with that team that has the best quarterback he's coached in the NFL. It would be Justin Herbert.
Yes. Who, by the way,
Help take him over the top.
yeah.
And maybe just Pete Carroll can bring a little luck with you
I mean,
to the Chargers.
Look, whatever he finds, good things seem to follow him, right? Except for Malcolm Butler at the goal line in a Super Bowl. But other than that, and I mean, that one's hard to get over. DC, that was a day I said, I don't know as a franchise, as a fan, but how you ever get over that. Oh, by the way, who was on the other side of that? The guy who got fired today. Oh, I'm sorry, who walked away today. I'm throwing out ideas, and we're gonna have a conversation. Who follows Belichick? Is it Vrabel? Is it Mayo? Is it who follows Saban? Lane Kiffin? Dabo?
I keep hearing about the guy from
Dan Lanning at Oregon?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the name that comes up all the time. So we're going to get into all of that stuff, but that's the news this morning. Bill Belichick is out. I'm throwing out the Saban to the NFL thing. Not that I know anything. And I'm not even saying it absolutely happens, but I'm going to tell you that wouldn't stun me, and that would make this whole thing make sense to me. Now, and where would it be? I mean, my guess would be Atlanta. But what if New Orleans called them and said, "You want in?" They'd fire Dennis Allen in a tick, right? What if Tampa Bay said, "Hey, do you want to come down here?" Todd Bowles would be out in an hour, right?
What about Dallas?
I mean, is that right up Jerry's angle? Who does he want more, Belichick or Saban? Yes.
Yes. He's got the money.
I'm just telling you, and I've heard it nowhere. But it was kind of my first thought. And I could be
just
100% wrong.
We're all guessing the future right now with these coaches. I think Nick Saban, he did a lot of coaching in the NFL, but I never got the thought like
Did he want to go back?
that he ever needed to prove something. The dude won 7 college national championships.
Yeah, because he
Like,
did.
I think at some point he can say, I am a good coach, even if I didn't win a title in the NFL.
I think that's right. I don't know. That
And he's perfect for just sliding into a media role, doing his appearances, being at the big games.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. And he's pretty good when he's on TV, when he loosens up a little bit and there's a little personality there. It's kind of a lot like Belichick. 505-246-0610. Let's go. Want to hear from you. Your thoughts on 3, dare I say 3 coaching legends? Right? I think that's fair. 2 certainly, and I would put Pete Carroll in the coaching legend. He's one of 3 guys that have won a college championship and a Super Bowl. Him, Jimmy Johnson, and Barry Switzer. Everybody leaves out Barry Switzer. Well, Switzer did it with Jimmy. He did it, didn't he? He's on the list. I don't know. Wow, he doesn't count. He kind of does. Yeah. Yeah, Barry Switzer counts too. For years, I've been telling you about IPS, International Protective Service. They offer standing guards or 24-hour patrols. They protect your home or your business. They've been protecting my home for years. I see Officer Crespin on a regular basis rolling by my house every day. What you might not know is IPS also installs home alarms. They've been doing this for a few years, but they want to remind you that if you don't have an alarm in this town, you are much more likely to be a victim of a break-in. The IPS technology team also installs video cameras that record video of criminals who vandalize or steal your property. The video will help the police in their investigation. And when the bad guys see surveillance, it discourages criminal activity. And IPS can set up your business with access control. So the only people authorized to get into your facility are the only ones who get in. Sign up to have IPS monitor your alarm and your cameras when they see something or the alarm goes off. It's about 7 minutes, usually less, before they get to your home or business to check it out. They arrive with armed, trained security officers. And IPS provides the manpower and technology to protect you, your family, and your property. It's a winning combination. The number is 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, or you can visit them online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, President of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, Warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Later today, tomorrow, we hear Harbaugh's leaving Michigan. Wouldn't that be right in pattern with yesterday? Nick Saban's out, and I mean, what if Alabama and Michigan are both open, and then that's going to open up another big job because they're going to steal somebody from somewhere, right?
Let me ask you this: would you take Alabama or Michigan over any of these NFL jobs?
I guess it would depend on what. I mean, so over Carolina. Like, what's a better job, Carolina Panthers or Alabama or Michigan?
If you want to be coaching a GM, Carolina might be.
Well, and that's where it is. Are you an NFL coach or you're a college coach? And I think, there's very, very few who have been successful at both, right? Jimmy Johnson, Pete Carroll's one of them. In fact, I would argue Pete Carroll's been the premier, the best at both those. Jimmy Johnson was really good too. Barry Switzer was good. He did win the one. He came in after Jimmy, and he did. You got to give him credit. He won at Oklahoma, and he won with the Cowboys. Whether you want to put him on that list or not, he's on the list, right? I mean, the list is undeniable. But there's very few. I guess it just depends. Are you a college guy? Do you like that atmosphere? Do you like the college coaching, or do you like more of the business? I don't know which one's more stable. I don't know that any head coaching job is stable.
No,
I don't know. How do you look at that?
Well, if it's Alabama or Michigan or the NFL, I think you're good either way.
Yeah, you can't lose.
It's one, you're getting your money, you're getting paid out in a big way. I actually think I know DC keeps bringing it up with Carolina. You want to be a GM, you want to be a GM. I don't think that's a good thing in the NFL at all. To have a coach or general manager.
I think I agree.
You need to start separating those duties.
And I think that's becoming less and less prominent, right? And
but a lot of the tenured coaches have that. You're going to have more power, you're going to have personnel decisions, but I think if we just see it over and over and over, like it's good to have multiple voices in an organization. But yeah, you look at that list right now. Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh. All could be available.
Throw Nick Saban. I mean, can you not throw Nick Saban on that list?
All right, we'll throw Nick Saban on that list.
I mean, honestly, is there a reason that if you're Arthur Blank or you're that new ownership group in Washington or you're, pick it. What are there, 7 jobs open? Hell, if my job's not open, am I calling those guys? If I'm Tampa Bay and I lose this weekend, if I'm New Orleans, if pick it. I mean, I know the Bears just committed to Eberflus, right?
Did they though?
But well, I mean, if you're Philadelphia and you're Jeffrey Lurie and you get beat this weekend in Tampa, which one of those guys you calling first? Belichick, Saban, Harbaugh? Who you calling? Pete Carroll?
You got to call all of them.
The Saban thing is because I firmly believe Belichick will be coaching by next week. Harbaugh can do whatever he wants. Okay, Harbaugh can stay at Michigan, or he can go pick his. He can do whatever he wants, right? Pete Carroll. I'm going to reiterating this over and over. I just give me a better fit for the Chargers. How about that? Find me a better fit for coach for the Chargers. They've gotten young coordinator the last couple of times and it hasn't worked. To your point, they've got what everybody believes is a young stud quarterback. They got a decent defensive base. They got good receivers, even if they don't re-sign Keenan Allen. You can always find a running back. The offensive line's okay. You can rebuild that. And I got that guy who's got obviously a lot to prove and has done it. I'm listening. Give me a better choice for the Chargers.
Though, thinking of Nick Saban, I don't want him to coach the NFL.
Yeah, then there's that.
Like I like my view of Nick Saban right now. Goated in college football, and then just to see him go like mess around for 3 years.
It's like watching Willie Mays with the Mets, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's what's the modern day Joe Namath with the Rams, O.J. Simpson with the 49ers. What's the modern day version of that?
I'd almost say Montana with the Chiefs, but they actually went to the AFC.
Yeah, they played.
Championship.
I mean, give me more modern day than that. Give me a great who finished his career stumbling around somewhere, right? I mean, do you feel like that's what that would be? You don't want to remember him that way? And
if he wants, now to your point, if he wants to go coach, absolutely, they're gonna make the phone calls because people know.
Yeah.
If he wants to or not right now.
Yeah, no, if he wants to, his people are putting the word out. Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. Just saying. It might end up being that way. It might. Oh boy, is that a story? The whole Aaron Rodgers thing too. All right, if you're just waking up and you thought the Saban story was the big deal, it was past tense, and it still kind of is. Bill Belichick parting ways with the Patriots. Adam Schefter broke that this morning. Came out at about 5 o'clock, 5:08 this morning is when it hit your phone. 5:08 is when it broke. I want your thoughts on it. Where do these guys go? Pete Carroll get another job. Belichick get another job. Is Saban done? And then who's next? Just your thoughts, because we've never seen. I mean, I don't think we have. We ever seen anything like this?
The idea that 3 of the greatest coaches all either stepped away or got fired in 20 hours. No, I don't think anything like that.
And then you could throw Harbaugh into the mix because he can do whatever he wants. I mean, the hits start coming and they don't stop coming. Jeffrey, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello.
Hey, we need Saban to stay in college so he continue to be the dark force, the hated guy. Because in the NFL, he doesn't have that mystique. He needs to stay in college for mystique. We need Harbaugh to leave Michigan to come to the AFC and coach New England so he can constantly battle his brother and they can have these wars where one of them is trying to knock each other out of the potential of going to the Super Bowl. We need Pete Carroll to go to San Diego just because he's a California guy and they need to be relevant. Other than that, when you ask the question, would you rather be an Alabama or Michigan coach as opposed to an NFL coach? Right now, those two schools hold the same status as any mid-level or low-level NFL team, so you can weigh those for what they're worth. But you never want to be the guy to replace the guy, so let's see what happens.
That's really good. Thanks, Jeff. He's basically Alabama, Michigan are as good as New England or Atlanta. I'm sorry, Carolina or Atlanta is what he's saying. It's interesting. Saban, I can't see Saban taking another college job, right? Is there a reason to?
No. Then you wouldn't leave Alabama.
Right? I just don't think. So he could be done. And Jeffrey said that Pete Carroll should go to San Diego. I think the Chargers should go to San Diego too. It's funny. He says it all the time. I heard Clark this morning saying San Diego.
It's San Diego.
Ask Aiden, where are the Chargers from? I mean, he's 17 years old. Where are the Chargers from? I mean, what's it? What do you say?
San Diego.
Yeah, that's right. 505-246-0610. Bill Belichick is out in New England. What's next? Who gets that job? Is it a Vrabel? Is that a signed, sealed, and done thing? Oh, he was out 2 days ago. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night football, and the Super Bowl.
Here's Maldonado for three.
Corner. Seattle drive baseline. This time he will take it to the rack.
He's so confident when he takes it to the basket.
On the board for her, 34-54. Behind the back dribble for Sosi, and Sosi buries the ball. Allison Sosi.
There's the Quan.
Still nothing. It's perimeter-oriented, pass around.
But Quan fires the three and gets another one. The basket will count for Junior Hogs, and he's fouled. Fouls on Juarez.
Great finish by Moore.
With it, kicks it over to Jennings for a three. Oh, Santana calls bank off the window.
Has been stuck on 14 the last couple possessions. There's Chloe Brown, a right corner three. It's short. Randall, the offensive rebound. Counted and a foul for Nadia Randall.
Thought about it, puts it on the court, pulls up, gives it to Brown. What is this? Oh, my goodness.
Sanchez has the third one, so he's got two of those. Quick steal, and there's the basket to close out the quarter as Brandon Lopez with a big steal.
Question a little bit, and you got me thinking about it. You know, look at
Tipped away by Owino. Big smooth, big jam, big time finish.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep.
Alabama. Nick Saban cited his age, health concerns in what they call a stunning meeting with his players. Now, he evidently didn't mention any specific health issues, and he kept the speech pretty short to his team, and it was direct, and it caught everybody off guard. But I didn't realize, early in the day, and this is yesterday, early in the day, Nick Saban was interviewing coaches for the wide receiver opening. He's got a wide receiver coach opening. He was on the SEC coaches call yesterday morning. He was involved in the discussion. He became animated, evidently, during the call. And then at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, he got everybody together and set them out. Which is crazy. So if it's, and that's what I kind of preface this right at the top, assuming there's no health issues. But if there is, and I don't know what it is, and I hope he's well. But then I get it a little bit more. But if he's healthy, man, I'm going to, there's something burning in me that tells me there's something here. The suddenness of it makes me feel that way. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. You're waking up this morning. Bill Belichick out as the head coach of the New England Patriots. This comes on the heels of yesterday's announcements that Nick Saban has retired after 17 years at Alabama and a great coaching career. Pete Carroll was, I don't know, is there another word? Fired? They came to an agreement. He obviously wanted to stay. Pete Carroll was fired at the Seahawks. All that's going on, and then there's the Jim Harbaugh stuff floating around. And as you told me on the text line, the mass exodus continues in Las Cruces. Aggie defensive coordinator Nate Dryling's going to Utah State. Folks, he says, are fleeing Las Cruces left and right, and who can blame them? That's on the text line. So then you can throw that into there as well. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Edward.
Well, my friends, it's an end of an era. The modern era of football began in 1994 with the inception of the salary cap, which was a game changer. And by the way, JJ and DC, the only two teams to repeat as champions in the salary cap era of football are the 97 and 98 Denver Broncos and the Patriots 20 years ago. I think the Chiefs are finding out how difficult it is to have sustainable excellence in the NFL, but time will tell. My son's 27 years old. In that time frame, he's witnessed the greatest era, the greatest 20-year run in the history of the NFL under Belichick's tutelage. I think we can all agree that Bill Parcells is an amazing coach, Hall of Famer, right?
Yep.
His playoff record, he has 11 playoff wins as an NFL coach. He had 0 playoff wins without Bill Belichick being his defensive coordinator. Belichick is the greatest orchestrator of defense in the history of the NFL. Those Giants teams, which in the golden era of the 80s football with the 49er dynasty, with those great Bear teams, which people believe that's the best team all time, he was able to navigate through there as the Giants defensive coordinator and win 2 Super Bowls in that era. And it took both him and Brady. I know there's a lot of consternation with fans. While he doesn't win without Brady, Brady had won another Super Bowl at another organization. It took both, right? And I think it should be celebrated. Now, in that same 27 years of my son's life, the Dallas Cowboys haven't won a divisional playoff game. Just that I throw that out there. And I think the Jacksonville Jaguars have been to 3 AFC title games in that same time frame. Here's the coaching moves I'd like to see. I think Vrabel is a Patriot. He has 7 touchdown passes as a linebacker in the playoffs. He's 7 for 7. I'd love to see him take the Patriots job. Bring back McDaniels, draft Caleb Williams if he's available at 3, which he probably won't be, and rebuild your organization. I'd like to see Belichick in the AFC East. He just is an East Coast guy, either with the Washington football team or the Eagles. Harbaugh, he needs to take the Chargers job or the Raiders, right? And whichever one he doesn't get, maybe they recycle, Pete Carroll, and he goes that route. But, I think it's interesting. I think
why do you think
the legends are moving.
Why do you think Harbaugh needs to take the Chargers or the Raiders job? Why?
I think the NFL is better with Harbaugh. He accomplished what he needed to do. Punch out while you're at the pinnacle of Michigan. I think college football, with what's going on, even though it's exciting with realignment, it's kind of a train wreck. It's a mess.
See, I think you're an NFL guy, and there's people who love college football. The college football people don't think, especially the people who are at the top, and he is at the top, they don't think it's a mess. They don't think it's a train wreck. They see it as an opportunity in a new era. And if for a guy who's sitting at the top of it and kind of feels like he's got it figured out, I'm going to guess he views it completely differently.
No, it's a valid point, Jeff, and they're mutually exclusive arguments, right? I think if sanctions come down on Harbaugh, you know what he should do at him in Michigan? Just go tell the NCAA to pound sand. They have they're not a sanctioning body. They don't have any power. The teams have the power. The top organizations in the NCAA have the power. The NCAA has no power. They've lost all leverage. So if he stays, just tell him, hey, here's what we're going to do. And the NCAA, you fall in alignment.
Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, and he might.
And I appreciate you letting me share my thoughts, but it's an end of an era, and I'm glad that we all witnessed it. Have a great day, guys.
Later. I think that's one misconception a little bit, that somehow it's way better to be in the NFL. You can make a lucrative living. Yes, the NFL is the pinnacle of the game. I'll tell you what, man, college football is no minor league. I will reiterate this to you again. College football is far and away the number 2 most popular sport in America. It is above the NBA, Major League Baseball, pick your soccer league, hockey league, whatever. It is the NFL, and then college football is a big gap number 2. And there's big money to be made there. And the people who love college football, I mean, tell me Bear Bryant or Jim Harbaugh or Dabo Swinney or Nick Saban or Lane Kiffin. I mean, I don't know. They're doing pretty well for themselves, aren't they?
Not too bad.
And it's big business, and there's a lot there. If that's what you prefer, I don't think you've got to apologize to anybody and have to go to the NFL to prove anything.
That's what I feel about Nick Saban.
Yeah, well, and you might be right. Chad, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Chad.
Hey, yeah, hey guys, I got a hot take on Jim Harbaugh. Here's where I think he's going to go. The Washington Commanders, or whatever they're going to be called, because they're going to change their brand. They're going to get a new stadium. They have a ton of money to spend. They have a second pick in the draft. He can pick his own quarterback. He's going to have carte blanche on how he can run that team because, frankly, it's been run so poorly for the past 25 years. He's also going to be just 45 minutes from his brother where he can have dinner at any moment's notice. And in a different conference so they can actually play each other in the Super Bowl, should that happen. Mm-hmm. I think they would give him a lot of leeway and leniency. And I think it's a franchise that is just a diamond in the rough. We all remember how great they were in the 80s. That RFK Stadium used to literally shake. I'm a Cowboys fan. I remember playing against them in the 80s, and it only sat 55,000 people, but you would never know it from how loud it was. So that is a dynamite waiting to happen, lightning in a bottle that's going to kind of explode with the right person. I think Magic Johnson will sit down. He's the right guy, and talk to him. Fellow Michigan man himself, and I think he's going to convince him to go there. That's just my hot take. Thank you.
It's good. It's good. I think that's all relevant, and I think he's at the place right now. He's number 1 on the list, and he could probably take whichever job he wants. I think Belichick's out there, and there's a number of places that he could go. I think Washington is one of them, and I think Atlanta's one of them. I think Harbaugh's in the spot where you take all 7 of those openings that are open right now: Chargers, Raiders, Washington, Atlanta. Where else am I looking at? Whatever I'm looking at, right?
Seattle, the Chargers, the Falcons, Las Vegas, Washington, Carolina.
I mean, I think if Harbaugh called any one of them and said, I want that job, I think he gets it, right? Is there one he doesn't?
Did that caller just say that Magic Johnson's a Michigan man? He's Michigan State.
He's a Michigan State guy. Yeah, he's a Michigan State guy. Yeah. I mean, I don't hate the concept. I don't know how important going 45 minutes to meet your brother for dinner is, but maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it is. And I think there's something to the NFL thing, being in the other conference from his brother, to get to the Super Bowl, to not hit each other before the Super Bowl. I think there might be something.
To run it back.
Yeah,
I've heard that too. That he does not want to play against
in the
his
AFC.
brother.
Yeah. Edward or Larry. Good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Larry.
Good morning, fellas. Thanks for taking my call. I was on the fence of making this call or not, but I figured I'm going to do it anyway. I'm the guy that's UNLV alum that calls every couple months, and I wanted UNLV at the game. Jeff, I want to congratulate you on a phenomenal ball game. We went ahead and bought tickets even though UNLV didn't come, and it was just a tremendous day. So I know that's past history, but I want to congratulate you and thank you for all of your effort, because that has turned into a tradition for us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I have to make a statement on Edward. Years ago, I used to be that caller that would call every so often, and Edward would call, and I'd be like,
lost him.
Here right now, Edward and Lenny have become two of my absolute favorite callers. Those gentlemen are such educational sports guys. They remind me a lot of you guys, and I have to say my hat's off to guys like Lenny and Edward. I mean, now I refer to Thomas Edward Brady as the greatest of all time. I couldn't stand that man, and because of Edward, like, I'm schooling my New England Patriots fans because of the value that those kind of calls bring to the phone line.
You're blowing up his ego, man. No, but I appreciate that, and it's good to hear you. Don't be a stranger on us, man. And Larry, it's good to hear you. Thanks, man. Edward's just sitting back going, see, told you he's proud of this.
Hey, sorry, I got a call. Jeff, let me call you right back.
Keep them coming at 505-246-0610. I got so much of your thought process on Belichick, where he's going, all this stuff. Come on in at 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. You're home for the Super Bowl.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, Spout? You ready?
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife. And our daughter. They didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated,
intoxicated.
Rip, plaster, paint. Destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
You know, with these coaches, and if you're just joining us, Bill Belichick is out in New England this morning as the head coach there. But I've said, as far as these coaches are concerned in business, the NFL or college football is not a minor league to the NFL. And I got differing takes on this. So Jeff sent me a meme from Harbaugh. It was a social media thing. It says, if I were to leave Michigan for the NFL, it would have to be for an iconic organization with a rich history. I've heard from a few teams, let's just say black is my favorite color. Jeff says, why would Saban coach again in college? Nick Saban. No reason. And he's on the record saying the portal and NIL has changed recruiting. I think he's just done. He's on the record saying NIL needed some changing. He passed on LSU. Keishon Butte, the receiver, because LSU business paid him $3 million. He refused to pay a wide receiver $3 million. Same group you just mentioned said Saban was done trying to convince his players to stay at Alabama every year. I'd rather coach at the top 10 college program versus the majority of the NFL teams. I agree with you. College football is as big as the NFL. Text line disagrees with me. Says talent level, and this is kind of the guy who disagrees with everything I say anyway, but talent level in college compared to NFL is minor league. What makes it comparable is the money. Almost all the players in college football do not make it to the NFL because they're not good enough. Without question, college is minor league compared to the NFL, but the money is really close. The money is close because of the eyeballs on the TV screen. I'm not telling you the talent is the set. That's not what I'm telling you. As far as a coach is concerned, the top coaches in college football, the Sabans, the Dabos, those guys are making more than many coaches in the National Football League, right? The business side, the production side, the game experience side, there's nothing minor league about college football. Now you can say there's different levels, and you can compare New Mexico to Alabama, and you've got a conversation. Now, I'm not talking about the talent wise. Look, go find any chart of the popularity of sports in our country. NFL is distant number one. And college football is number two. It's not the NBA. It's not Major League Baseball. It's not hockey, soccer, NASCAR, golf, whatever you like. And whatever you like is cool. I'm not telling you it's bad. And so for a guy to make a living, and this is the whole Harbaugh conversation, right? Well, Harbaugh should stay, or he's got to go because he's proved everything he can at that level. I don't know, man. If dude's happy, And that's a dude that seems pretty happy, doesn't he? Who's got it better than him? He's happy. Nick Saban seemed pretty happy for 17 years in Tuscaloosa. Seemed pretty happy before that at LSU, didn't he? Tried the NFL, didn't work for 2 years. Came back and found his niche. Is there something wrong with becoming a legend at that level?
Not at all.
It's a hell of a career, a hell of a living, a hell of a lifestyle, and you can impact a lot of young men's lives. And
Yes, you can. Even with the challenges and the frustration that you hear from coaches, like Nick Saban was still dominating that, man. They were still getting talent, whether it was the 5-star recruits or landing players in the transfer portal, NIL, all that stuff. Where at these big time colleges, you might be frustrated, but you're going to have all the resources you need.
Yeah. I mean, when I
think with Nick Saban, he was ready.
Okay.
He might be frustrated, but I don't think that's what forced him out. Like, I think you just really look at Nick Saban and go, I've done it all. Ready to move on.
And I think there's a part of him that was frustrated by the changes.
Yeah.
And he's made that very clear.
Yes, he has.
And if that was part of it and him saying, I'm ready. I saw the story where it said health was involved with it, and hopefully he's okay. That's the piece that backs me off of my thought that he's going to get an NFL job. I'm just going to tell you, it will not stun me if he gets an NFL job. 505-246-0610, 9 o'clock this morning, we will do Red Zone. 8:30 this morning, Jerry Palm from CBS Sports joins us. Cannot wait to hear what Jerry Palm has to say about Nick Saban leaving. Does Pete Carroll go back to college? Is there a college? Let's say Dan Lanning at Oregon takes the job at Alabama. Does Oregon turn to Pete Carroll? I mean, we could see shuffling. Look, why not, man? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night football, and the Super Bowl.
The Jim Rome Show.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Oh, Nelly! Arkansas recovers. You guys old enough to remember and listen to games with Keith Jackson?
Yes.
Oh, the Big Uglies down there in Alabama, down in Tuscaloosa. The Alabama Crimson Tide and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Oh, Nelly! The Alabama's head coach is out. You knew that, Nick Saban. This morning you woke up to the news, and maybe you're just waking up to it now, that Bill Belichick is out in New England. Not a stunner, but still a stunner, if that makes any sense at all. I think we expected it. I think we saw it coming, but when after 24 seasons and doing everything that fella did, 17 division titles, most by any head coach in the history of the NFL, with Shula, Andy Reid, and Tom Landry tied for second. If he's won 17, and I said to you, Shula, Landry, and Reid all were tied for second division titles. Any idea how many they had, how far back they were? Were they right there? Were they far back? I mean, 17 for Belichick. How many division titles for Shula, Reid, and Landry? Any idea?
Thinking about Reid with the Eagles and Chiefs. So I'm thinking 12.
All right, what do you got?
How far back?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, he's got 17. The guy's tied for second. How many?
The way you phrase
it's just a little perspective.
Makes me think it's under, like, 9?
13 is the number.
Okay.
So you're really close. Yeah. So, but four division titles is, significant. 9 conference championships, most by any head coach in the Super Bowl era. 12 Super Bowl appearances, including his time as an assistant coach. 21 seasons as a head coach. It trails. He's not getting this record. 21 seasons, winning seasons as a head coach. He's behind George Halas, Don Shula, Curly Lambeau, and Tom Landry. Any idea George Halas's record? Okay, if I give you records that'll never be broken, I'm going to tell you I think this is one of them. The amount of winning seasons by an NFL head coach. Any idea how many George Halas won? How many times he had a winning season in the NFL?
I feel like it's going to be in the 30s.
All right, pick a number.
30.
What do you got?
23.
40.
Oh, my goodness.
Fair? Record that'll never be broken?
I mean, unless Belichick's going to live to 120. I mean, that's insane.
What's your record? When people in sports say this is the record that'll never be broken, right? You start thinking about Joe DiMaggio's consecutive game played streak in Major League Baseball. Or now it's Cal Ripken's, right? Cal Ripken's consecutive game streak. The hitting streak in baseball is a really tough one, but I feel somebody's going to get that one day. So I always go to Cal Ripken's consecutive game streak in Major League Baseball, just modern day baseball. I mean, you sit a game, sit a day. I didn't know this one. 40 winning seasons as an NFL coach, I would say is right there at the top of my list.
Yeah. It's crazy.
When you put it into perspective that Belichick has 21 and how great he was. He's one of 4 undefeated and untied regular seasons in NFL history. He's the only one under a 16-game schedule from 78 to 2020. There's a news conference set for 10 o'clock our time. So right when we go off the air is when the news conference is set for. And you'll I want to thank Bob for all the years. Bob was good to me, and we had a great run, and it's on to Atlanta.
No, I think you're actually going to see Belichick smile. He's going to be friendly.
You think so?
It's a different version. I would expect that. Yeah.
All right, I'm down with that. I know I've asked you guys this. Have you seen the 30 for 30 with him and Parcells? The 2 Bills. Did you ever watch it?
I did. It's been a while though, so
Did you see it?
I've seen clips of it.
There's personality there. Like, the 2 of those guys at the golf course. I'll throw this. This is stupid.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Most of these coaches are not who they are at podium.
100%. 100%. People always say, who'd you like to have a beer with? I know he's not at the top of most lists. I'd love to sit down and have a couple of beers or bourbons or whatever with Belichick and listen to stories.
I mean, that's basically what Aaron Rodgers said on his
Did
last
he?
appearance on McAfee.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he said that his recall, Belichick's recall.
Well, I kind of got lost in all the other things.
Got lost in the noise, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What about Aaron Rodgers? But yeah, no, he said very specifically he wanted to have a couple scotches with Belichick and just talk about football because every time I guess they would get together, Belichick would have very specific comments about certain plays he had, and they would have these deep conversations about plays that happened 10 years ago.
So those conversations, and I've had a few in my life where I listen a lot. And I know you're like, really, Jeff, you talk so much. But I mean, there's, I told you about that when I first started the bowl game in 06 and Hal Mummy took me into the coach's room at the WAC media days. And it was June Jones and Pat Hill and Hal Mummy and Dennis Erickson and Chris Alt and is it Louisiana Tech, the son of the former Tennessee coach, Derek Dooley. They're all these guys, and I just sat there and just listened to stories. Right, the late Dick Toomey, the former coach at Arizona and Hawaii and San Jose State. He played the first New Mexico Bowl, and 5 years later we had him back. He was a guest speaker at the luncheon, and we did a drive out to Tamaya for the VIP dinner, and we were talking. Audra tells you the story. Her eyes just glazed over. I mean, it was X and O football, right? But on third down you did this. He's like, yeah, no, but I mean, those conversations. I had a few of those with Jim McElwain, the former Colorado State and current head coach at Central Michigan, but former Florida coach. And some of those you just sit around and you just listen. They're fascinating, man, because the retention that those guys have, and the perspective of their in the moment recollection as opposed to you watching it from your seat. I love those, man, and I would love to sit down and just listen to him or Saban or one of those guys. But Uncle Grumpy, just to listen to Belichick, who seems like he's Uncle Grumpy, and get a couple in him and let him go. Kind of might be near the top of my list. I used to always say Vin Scully was one of those guys I always wanted to sit down and listen to.
I understand Belichick for sure, because every time you see him not on the podium, like JJ said, he's funny, he's well-rounded, he knows a lot of topics outside of football. I can understand that. I would definitely sit down with Belichick, no doubt.
Wilt Chamberlain, 100-point game, unbreakable record in the NBA.
That's a good one. One I was thinking is the 321 consecutive games that Brett Favre played. That's not going to happen in the NFL.
No, I think that's right too. Yeah, that's good. Text line. It was announced today that Fruit Stripe gum was being discontinued the same day that Bill Belichick is out in New England. Coincidence that 2 tasteless things are being canceled on the same day? Question mark. Fruit Stripe gum. Is that Wrigley's? When was the last time you put that in your mouth?
30 years ago.
Yeah. Is that
I
the
do
yellow?
remember
Is that the yellow, like the yellow package?
I don't remember the color of the package. I just remember that the gum sticks actually had stripes on them.
And then it lasted for about 14 seconds.
12 to 14.
And then it was like chewing a wax or candy corn or something along those lines.
Like a small piece of paper at that point.
Did I just do that? Oh, see, that's cheap.
Sorry, missed candy corn season already.
It can always be candy corn season if you buy enough.
It
Can't
never
make
goes
it last
bad.
long enough.
I mean, it can always be candy corn season. All right, we're open for you again. Bill Belichick is out. I want to play the game though, and it's not even a game. Like, what's next? I think Pete Carroll coaches next year. The Chargers, to me, are the ideal spot. What do you think? I'm convinced Belichick coaches next year. It's going to be Atlanta or Washington. If Saban is healthy, I'm not convinced he's done. Harbaugh throws in the mix. Then I threw this at you. You guys, you think I'm whack on this? If Dan Lanning, the coach at Oregon, gets the Alabama job to replace Saban, is it completely out of the realm that Pete Carroll would go back to college and coach at Oregon?
Look at you today. Fire.
That's the same reaction I had, JJ. He said that, and the wheels started turning. Like, that actually makes a ton of sense.
I mean, that would be my first call, wouldn't it?
From Oregon?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
On my first call. Put him on the list.
All right. Mike got he's 72, but
it's not that he's 72.
Okay, then what's the downside?
I guess there's not a downside.
He was pretty
You're right.
damn successful in college. Well, Jeff, I mean, Reggie Bush's parents got
And
a
he
place
can
to
do
live.
well. No, he can do that now. It's all legal.
That's right. As DC told me,
you're right.
You can run it as a business now.
I got nothing to say on this. Like, you are just knocking it out of the park. I'm just gonna sit back and listen today.
Well, I mean, I don't know that any of them happened. I'm starting to put pieces together. To me, the Chargers thing is too easy. That one's, DC, you were telling me you still think of him as an LA guy, right?
Totally. 100%.
You give him the quarterback, and look, if it doesn't work, it's not Justin Herbert's fault. It's Pete Carroll's fault. But you put him in that situation, bring him back to LA, or what my daughter calls the Chargers. We're watching them. I don't know when we're watching them. She's like, why don't they effing go back to San Diego where they belong? She listens to me too much. It's like, well, look at them. Like, they play in the Rams place. She's like, they're like the Walmart Rams, Dad.
Oh my goodness.
They're just trying to be the Rams. They kind of have their same colors. They play in their place, and their logo almost looks alike. And
that's a good one on Addie. I like that.
She got angry almost at it. Did she? I mean, not really, but kind of. She went off a little bit. It was pretty funny. Yeah, it was pretty good. But it makes too much sense. All right, 505-246-0610. Jerry Palm's going to be with us at 8:30, and I can't wait to hear what he says about the Saban stuff. I mean, is it all right if I run some of my theories by him?
Absolutely.
All right, because I might just do that. We're going to do the Red Zone at 9 o'clock. Is that when we do that? JJ, you had a game last night, right?
Yep.
How that went last night? Lady Lobos played last night. Lobo men, San Diego State will be in town if you want to get into any of that. But all this stuff that's coming down this morning with the coaches and Saban and Harbaugh, nothing yet on Harbaugh. I almost expect anything on Harbaugh any second now. Just the way it's coming. But on a crazy, crazy, crazy coaching cycle, 3 legends are out. And where they go, what it means, and are they really done? Winter's hitting again today. So your car looks like crud. I got it. I mean, all of ours do. Every car on the lot looks that way. The road, dirt, mud, salt, it's all stuck to your car. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Make an appointment to get it all cleaned up and have it detailed and have them come out and make your car look and feel and smell brand new. Look, this is one of your biggest investments. It just is. Take care of it. Maintenance it with On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Jeff, I don't have the time, man. I'm busy. You don't need the time. That is the beauty of what On the Spot does. Not only are they best at what they do it where it's convenient for you, when it's convenient for you. That means they come to the office. They're in the parking lot. They do it at your convenience. Home, office. They're done. It looks and feels and smells brand new. Awarded Best of the City for 2023 because they're reliable. They are efficient. They are the best at what they do. Book online. Find out everything about them. It's all right there. The website is otsdetailing.com. It is otsdetailing.com. TSDetailing.com.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt Tax Services,
We
home of
would
the
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, refractive lens exchange. the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Commanders in Carolina. Then I look at the playoff teams.
Yeah. Philly,
and Philadelphia, Tampa, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Dallas.
So how many?
Tampa Bay could
at
be in the
least
mix.
one more will open up. Promise you.
Because of the names that are available.
Well, look, if Buffalo loses, Buffalo plays the Steelers. If they lose the Steelers, they're making a change. Pittsburgh, I mean, there's too much smoke on Tomlin just walking away, right? That may open up. Tampa Bay, if they get something sexy, Bill Belichick's sexy. How about that?
We watched Tom Brady do it.
I was just gonna say they had Brady, and then they get Belichick down there. I mean, they're just riding the coattails of that dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
You said it's the place to go retire, right?
I always said that, man. That's where the old quarterbacks and old coaches should just go. They all go to Florida, don't they?
That would be something if they got Brady and Belichick.
Would Jerry get rid of McCarthy? I mean, if they lose this weekend or next weekend, would he?
For McCarthy, I think outside of winning a Super Bowl, it's
well, okay. All three of the names that are out there right now, and you're saying three, are sexy enough for Jerry Jones to go, Michael was good, but right. So, Belichick, absolutely. Harbaugh, absolutely. Look, if Jerry could get Saban in to coach the Cowboys. Now, again, I don't know if Nick Saban ever wants to coach again. If it's a health issue, I get it. But I'm just telling you, my first thought when I heard it yesterday was he's done with the NIL transfers crap. But I could see him go to the NFL. I could be totally wrong with that.
What we're doing is we're trying to piece it together, putting our best theories out there. I think Nick Saban's done though.
And I think there's something that may be right. That may be right.
Because he's had his fill of the NFL.
Has he though? Has he?
I think so.
Yeah, and that's where
you can go coach in the NFL. He doesn't need to be reminded he's a good coach.
Right? I think that's right too.
Like he was actually really good as an assistant when Cleveland was building something early on with Bill Belichick, and then they blew those guys out. The Miami thing, it didn't work for 2 years. Then you won 7 national championships. You don't have to prove anything to anyone.
No, you don't. But what if you still like coaching? And I'm going to go back to something DC said and something was brought up earlier. So where would you rather coach, right? And some people just love coaching in college. I think that's great. He's made it very clear that he's not down with the NIL, transfer portal, all that stuff, right? If you still want to coach football, now you have free agency, but at least at free agency, there's a contract. You know how long you got a guy under control, how long he's going to be there, how long you're going to be there, whatever. If he still wants to coach, and it's a capital I, capital F, and I get that. If you still want to coach, and you're that dude, and you know you can coach anywhere you want, would you rather coach the NFL right now and just coach football?
Like as much as these dudes complain, they still have more power than anyone.
Okay, and that's you're right. You have more
Nick
power
Saban
in college football.
Has more power than anyone.
Yeah.
They're not scared of anyone. They can do whatever the heck they want. You can complain all you want about NIL, but the people complaining the most have the most resources. So cry me a freaking river.
Yeah, all that's right. All that's right.
Because I lost to do the transfer. You can go get the best player off any team in the country.
That guy certainly can. Yeah, he can. All right. Do you know the Albuquerque connection to the Alabama football coaching vacancy right now? Greg Byrne is the athletic director at the University of Alabama. Do you know he went to Comanche Elementary School here in Albuquerque. His dad was working in the UNM athletic department when he was young. Greg was the athletic director at Arizona, their first New Mexico Bowl appearance when they beat Nevada back with Rich Rodriguez back in 12 or whatever it was. But Greg elementary schooled here in Albuquerque at Comanche Elementary. An Albuquerque kid going to make the. How's his phone burning up right now? What makes sense at Alabama, by the way? Because you always say you never want to replace the guy, right? You don't want to replace John Wooden. You don't. I mean, do you remember it was Gene Cunningham, by the way? Gene Cunningham, is that right? No, Gene Bartow. Gene Bartow, and then Gene Bartow is the guy who replaced John Wooden.
Because you're never going to live up to the expectations.
Right.
6 national championships at Alabama.
So Lane Kiffin gets a call this morning. Is he interested?
Yes.
I think anyone getting that call is interested.
All right, back me up a second. Or does Lane Kiffin say, well, I'm at Ole Miss. Finally, the door's open.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, the door's open for me to do something here at Ole Miss. I don't know what he's making. I'm sure he can make more at Alabama. Do you want to go follow that guy at Alabama where the expectations are probably unrealistic? Or do you want to create your own thing at Ole Miss and now the door's open and I can do it at Ole Miss because that dude's gone and what's been my biggest obstacle? That dude. I mean, you're listening.
Oh, Kirby Smart's in the way.
Kirby Smart's in the way too. But that dude's gone now. All right, one of the biggest obstacles. And now I don't know if they're going to divisions anymore or how they're going to do the SEC. I have no idea. What's a better position for Lane Kiffin right now? Alabama or Mississippi?
And do you have a different feeling this morning across the SEC?
Of course.
Yeah, you've been dealing with Kirby Smart and Nick Saban. And now, one of those obstacles is gone. You're like, whew, all right.
Yes.
I think that we can manage this.
I'm Dan Lanning. I'm going to the Big Ten. I'm at Oregon. Creating something pretty good up there. I mean, that's as passionate of a football fan base as there is in the West, correct? You got a better one? Washington, maybe, but it feels like Oregon's the most passionate college football fan base in the West. BYU, maybe. But Oregon's pretty passionate, right? I got facilities. I got money. Man, I'm creating something. Now we're going to Big Ten. There's more money. But my phone's ringing today, too. Greg Burns calling me, asked about my interest in Alabama. Damn, it's Alabama. It's the pinnacle. Let's hear what Jerry Palm has to say. CBS Sports, one of the best.
If you're Greg Byrne, you call him Bill Belichick?
I'm calling Bill Belichick. I might be calling Pete Carroll.
It's like, Nick, you want to send a text to Bill? What he thinks about Alabama?
And his phone's ringing off the hook, too. Jerry Palm, CBS Sports. Next, what does he think of all this? It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night football, and the NFL.
A busy commute.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here, and I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like Ensure that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
The Sports Animal.
Got a crazy cycle, man. I don't know that we've ever seen anything like this. Pete Carroll, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, all out. Harbaugh sitting there. We're just waiting for that. I mean, literally just waiting for it to drop. It feels like any second. Opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. We'll get back to your phone calls coming up in a little bit. We are privileged every Thursday right around this time to have a conversation with our good buddy over at CBS Sports, one of the best in the business. Jerry Palm joins us. Good morning, Jerry Palm. How you living?
All right. How are you?
Kind of my head's spinning a little bit with all the coaching stuff going on. Did the Saban stuff?
Kidding.
Did the Saban stuff come out of nowhere for you, like it did for many?
Well, not really. You know, I mean, I've been thinking about it for a couple of years. I mean, he's 72.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be too surprised when a 72-year-old guy calls it quits. You know, going to happen eventually. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, was I expecting it yesterday? I don't know. I can't say I was expecting it, but I'm also not surprised when a 72-year-old guy retired.
Fair enough. I heard it yesterday, and I was surprised, and just because I guess I wasn't ready for it at the time. Whatever. It caught me a little off guard. And my first thought was, I don't know that I think he's done. Am I ridiculous to think if he's healthy, and I think health is a big issue here, that he might go to the NFL?
He's tried that.
Yeah.
It's not like it's something that's out there that he wishes he tried. He tried it. It wasn't really for him. I'd be surprised if he ends up in the NFL. Especially, I mean, if you hire Nick Saban as an NFL guy, you're getting him for what?
3 years?
Maybe 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah. I think he's done coaching.
All right. Let me throw one more at you. All right, let me go here. Who replaces him? Is it Saban? Is it Kiffin? Is it Lanning? I mean, there's all the names out there. Who do you think fits there?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that you wouldn't think would leave their jobs that would leave their job for this, right? Sarkisian, who's been there before, would be a good option. Lanning or Kalen DeBoer. I don't think we probably won't hear Jim Harbaugh's name with this job. We hear it with all the NFL jobs. Mm-hmm. It's funny. It's probably the best choice would be Kirby Smart, but there's no way he'd leave Georgia for Alabama. And he's got way too good a thing going there. I've heard Mike Norvell's name kicked around, Florida State coach. Mm-hmm. He's obviously done a really good job there, and it's kind of turned that place around. Although I think that one would surprise me a little bit. But yeah, there's a lot of names out there, but it's going to be a guy that's already a high major guy. Yeah. That's going to get that job. This is not going to be an assistant. This is not going to be, like a Sun Belt coach or something like that. This is going to be a high major guy, probably at a really good school, who's going to take this job.
What's a better gig for Lane Kiffin right now? Is his door open at Mississippi right now, where he's like, okay, finally that's out of the way? Where the expectations are way lower, or do you go replace the guy? I mean, do you want to?
I don't think there's any gig better than Alabama, but it comes with a lot of pressure and a lot of expectation.
Yeah. All right, let me throw one other
situation. There's no question about that. I don't know if Lane's that great of a fit.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you on
that. His personality is a bit out there. I don't know.
All right, let me throw one other at you.
Makes sense.
All right, so if let me throw you the Lanning. So if Lanning goes there, what do you think of Pete Carroll at Oregon?
Again, short-term thing. He's 70-something. They're about the same age, right? 72, 73?
Yeah.
I think it's a patch job. If you're hiring someone who's already in their early 70s, it's a bridge to something else. You might as well just go get to something else.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, with us on the Sports Animal.
Well, you could look at a potential bridge in Washington. Kalen DeBoer, what he's done, 25-3 in the first 2 years at Washington. We just brought him up in this conversation for Alabama. What did you make of what we saw between Michigan and Washington?
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about it. I thought it would come down to whether or not Washington could protect against Michigan, and they couldn't. Michael Penix was under pressure all day. They really couldn't do the kinds of things they need to do offensively to stay in this game. And I don't know if I talked about this with you, but I certainly did with somebody. I thought, you're going to need 30 points to win this game. This is not going to be a defensive struggle. You're going to need to be able to score, and Washington couldn't score if you can protect the quarterback, but they couldn't protect the quarterback. At Michigan, they ran the ball, which is what they prefer to do. Not that they can't win them with McCarthy, having to throw it if that's what they have to do. But, there's a lot of old-style Chicago Bears in what Michigan likes to do, which is defense and run the ball. And that's what they were able to do. 300 yards rushing, 2 big runs in the first quarter from Edwards for touchdowns that really put Washington under pressure offensively. And then, of course, Michigan defense did the same, and it was just uphill for them.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, joining us this morning on the opening drive. How are you going to remember this season for Michigan?
Well, obviously the championship, but also, all the scandal surrounding them, and the fact that Harbaugh was suspended for half the season, and they still won a championship. The first 3 games, the last 3 games, and they were still able to win. I mean, this was a really good team. Probably better than people gave it credit for because they played in the Big Ten. Felt like they weren't really tested in non-conference play or in conference play until they got to the end when they got to play Penn State and Ohio State finally, and Maryland gave them a game. But, it was, people wanted to see more, and they got to the playoff and showed it. They beat Alabama, came from behind to do it, stuck it to Washington. And, it was a dominant season for Michigan, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. But I think what I'll really remember most is a championship in which the head coach was suspended for half of the regular season.
Where's that head coach end up next year? You think he stays there? Because it feels like he can have any job in college or pro that he wants right now.
Yeah, I think he stays there. He's not going to coach another college.
I agree with that.
Yeah, he's a Michigan guy. He's either coaching Michigan or the NFL. His name is attached to every NFL job. It has been since his first year back at Michigan, since he left the NFL. Everybody figures he's going right back to the NFL. I don't know. I think he likes it at Michigan. Maybe the right NFL job will lure him away, but I think he likes being at Michigan and, isn't going to leave for just any NFL job.
I think that's probably right. JJ asked you how you remember the season. I ask you now that the era of the 4-team playoff is over. How will it be remembered long term? Because you and I have had a lot of conversations on this. Almost every time it worked without controversy in regards to picking the teams, to the teams who were selected. We didn't always get the great games, although this year I would argue we may have got the best 3 games in the playoff that combined. Yeah. Usually we got a lot of blowouts. But I would argue that it was a successful run, albeit it'll end up being a bridge to what we're getting now.
I would say it was generally successful really until this year. When they decided to leave Florida State out.
Right.
That's a self-inflicted wound. That should have never happened. And it was, in fact, all the evidence you needed that 4 teams was not enough. And 4 teams was never really enough. There were always teams left out that were good enough to win. This year, I think we had 4 of them good enough to win a playoff if they had a chance to get in it. That won't be a problem going forward. I think we'll have all the teams in that have any chance of winning going forward. But and it won't be too long, I don't think, before they announce that it's going to be 5 and 7, 5 champions and 7 at large instead of 6 and 6 because of the relative demise of the Pac-12. But that's not official yet. So it'll be an interesting format. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm actually looking forward to home playoff games. That's one of my favorite things about it is that the first round is played on home fields, and I'm looking forward to seeing some SEC school have to go up to Penn State in December and play
or go to Oregon for that matter.
Yeah.
And go up to Washington, go up to Oregon for that matter. We're going to have conversations next year about who got left out because, we're going to have arguments over Team 11 and 12 because, Liberty gets in this year and we'd be arguing over what would have been probably Ole Miss and Oklahoma this year and all that, just like we do with 68, 69, 70 in basketball.
I was going to say, we argue much bigger fields than that. This conclusion out of much bigger fields than that in the basketball tournament. It's well underway now.
By the way, what a week in basketball. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 5,
you had
all
a single
went down.
digit next to to the left of your name this week. It was not a good week.
Everybody,
I kind of expected Purdue to get beat. The two places in the Big Ten where they never play well are Northwestern and Nebraska. Now they're 0-2 there. But I was watching Marquette last night. They looked like inept, like they didn't have any idea what they're doing. I don't know what was going on. It must be the whole Christmas break thing. Some of the kids aren't back in school yet, or they're just starting back to school and aren't really mentally locked in like they should be. But we had a really weird week at the top of college basketball.
Number 1, Purdue lost. Number 2, Houston lost. Number 3, Kansas lost. Number 5, Tennessee lost. I mean, UConn.
Kansas lost at UCF. I mean, that to me is remarkable. But, Houston, it's like, all right, Houston, welcome to the Big 12. Here's your first road game at Hilton Coliseum, like the second toughest place they could play other than Lawrence as a road game. I'm sure their own home court is a tough road spot too, but they don't play there on the road. So, Hilton, of course, and Iowa State's still a pretty decent team. So that's
look, Jerry,
welcome to the Big 12.
We have conversation. I don't care what league you're in. Playing on the road in league play is tough.
Yeah.
And New Mexico got beat at UNLV Tuesday night, and everybody around here, oh my goodness, look, it's tough. Colorado State went on the road. They lost at Boise State. San Diego State damn near lost at San Jose State, and we got a good one in the Pit on CBS on Saturday. San Diego State will be here. Road conference game. Go look around America, man. It's tough.
It is. It's what really separates the good teams from the great teams is the ability to win on the road.
Yeah. All right, enjoy it. I know you'll be glued to the TV on Saturday. It's 2 o'clock Eastern, noon here in the Pit. San Diego State will be here. Should it be a sellout? And next week we'll start talking about some college basketball a little bit more. Read him every day over on CBSSports.com. Follow him on the X. It's at JP Palm CBS. He is Jerry Palm. Thank you for the time. As always, enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks.
Be well. Jerry Palm is as good as there is. Look, the Saban age thing, everybody, 72, I get it. Saban, Belichick, Pete Carroll.
What's not a Band-Aid in coaching?
Well, I was just going to say, isn't everything a bridge job?
Yes. I'm not worried about someone being too old.
It's funny that you and I got the same exact thing out of it. Every job's a bridge job until the next guy, until this guy leaves, until the next guy takes over. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night football, and the Super Bowl.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like me, sure that you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Head coach in New England. He was the Patriots head coach for 24 years. That ends today. What's next comes on the heels of Nick Saban leaving Alabama yesterday. Pete Carroll getting fired by the Seahawks yesterday. I'm sorry, leaving with the Seahawks head coach yesterday. And where does it all go? So we're having that conversation. A couple other things that we want to get into it. Big win for former Aggie coach Chris Jans last night. Mississippi State beat number 5 Tennessee 77-72. Jans, of course, the head coach at Mississippi State, so huge win for him. And JJ, you had the Lady Lobos last night here on our air at the Pit. Utah State was the opponent, and a tight one, but a win for the Lobos in conference last night out at University Arena.
UNM women this season, any win is going to be one that at some point in time you'll be biting your nails in the game, because they can go ice cold offensively, and you wonder at times, man, is this team going to hit a shot? 10 of 47 in the first half.
10 of 47. What's that, like 19%? Something like that? 71-67, they beat Utah State. They'll be on their way to Fort Collins. I got a weather report for you. I'm trying to figure out where exactly it was. Somebody sent this for me, just so you know. Voice, Rand gave this to me. Jeff, have you seen the post-time temperatures in Fort Collins? 7 degrees. That's 7 overnight.
7.
Low. Overnight low, 5 below. That's what you're headed to tomorrow. Get your New Mexico Bowl beanie and your Isleta New Mexico Bowl parka and whatever you got. Did I load you up with enough jackets and beanies and sweatshirts yet?
I think I'm okay.
All right. If you
I'll
need
be
more,
okay.
let me know. I got to get you a backpack. I'm working on the backpack thing. I am. So that's where JJ said.
Who knew so many people
Care
you have
about
some
you?
duct tape on your backpack and they got to make a comment about it.
Yeah, they don't want anything to fall out, man. That's how it is.
Still works.
Yeah. Fallout since Nick Saban leaves Alabama. The number 9 overall prospect, number 3 receiver in ESPN's top 300. A player from Sarland, Alabama, Ryan Williams, has decommitted. The ripple effect's going to be interesting. And this is what makes me think, one of you said earlier, I think JJ was you, how's everybody in the SEC feeling right now? Is there a different feel if you're at Texas A&M?
Yes.
Is there a different feel if you're at Ole Miss and
Yes.
if you're at Auburn and
Yes.
you're at LSU and
Yes.
everywhere, right? The beast.
Now you're just looking at Kirby Smart.
That's right. But and are they going to divisions or are they splitting? There's 16 teams. Are they splitting up divisions in the SEC? Because if you're in the SEC West and you're A&M and Mississippi State and Ole Miss and LSU and Auburn and right, Arkansas, all of a sudden you're like, well, all right, I got a whole new opportunity. I'll worry about Kirby Smart in the championship game, but let me get there. And Nick Saban's out of the way. It's a tough job, man. And I'm sure it'll pay well. And, there was a report that Dan Lanning, the Oregon coach, was already in Tuscaloosa, and that was defunct. But maybe he will. I mean, coach around here once said, you don't mess with happiness, right? Go chase a bunch of money. How's it going to be? It's a tough job right now. It's a great job. It's a tough job.
The expectations are not realistic for whoever comes in. Oh, yeah, just go win 6 national championships.
Please. Oh, no, not please. That's what you're going to do. Red Zone next. You ready for that? Do a little NFL stuff. Got playoffs starting in 2 days in the National Football League. It's not all about coaching news. It's the opening, although it's partially about coaching news. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. AM 610, Sports Animal, your home for Super Bowl 58.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out.
she'd been drinking. This one, both of them, gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
And JJ Bach.
All right, big news this morning. If for some reason you're just joining, well, for some reason, I mean, you join us at different times. If you're just getting into the world, Bill Belichick's leaving the Patriots. 24 seasons as their head coach. They'll have a formal press conference in an hour from now. But, I mean, it's on Atlanta. I know Washington. Wherever he's going. It's over. Of course, the Saban news came out yesterday that Nick Saban's out at Alabama. Pete Carroll's out in Seattle. So what do we have? I have 8 open jobs, 7 open jobs. How many right now? 7? Including New England?
Yeah.
7. Plus, we expect something more coming out of the playoffs, right?
Oh, no doubt. When you have the names available, when you can say Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, go flirt with Jim Harbaugh, teams are going to get antsy. Teams that don't live up to their expectations. And I have it, Philadelphia, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Dallas. Put Tampa Bay on that list. Playoff teams that could make a switch if they feel like they could get one of these guys. And even the non-playoff team, because the Chargers sitting there, and you're like, we got Justin Herbert. You want to come coach this kid? Let's go.
Yeah, because, I mean, but all the blame's on you because none's on him.
Yes.
As long as you understand it.
Yes.
All right, let's go into the red zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy?
I'm saying you're a football player. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Let's go, baby!
It's 1st and goal.
Well, guys, I got to tell you, this was probably the most difficult red zone I've written because
really,
I've just been in this rabbit hole of coaching for like 2 days now. So let's try this. As Adam Schefter predicted several weeks ago, there are now 7 head coaching positions available in the NFL. So I want you guys to rank the top 3 openings based on the roster, ownership group, and fan base.
Top 3, Seattle, New England, Los Angeles Chargers. I think with Seattle, you got a great fan base. I mean, I know there's the potential of a sale with the team in the future, but it's been solid, not a lot of rumblings. They've drafted fantastic over the last couple of years, have some good young pieces, the ability to just add a quarterback that they feel they can find something better than Geno Smith, or go really young, throw a bunch of assets, trying to move up in the draft. Chargers, it's Justin Herbert. And to me, this is Matthew Stafford 2.0. People are going to start souring on him and want to question him, and he's not winning enough, he's not good enough. He'll set place somewhere else and probably win a Super Bowl, because that franchise feels like they're cursed by Justin Herbert. And then New England, it's one where Robert Kraft invested in that team. Bill Belichick, it's always going to be hard, as we're talking with Nick Saban, to go in there and fill his shoes. But if it is Mike Vrabel, he is going to get time to do that.
So I think Seattle's the best job right now. I love the ownership. I think the roster's good. I like the cultures. I like Seattle. Chargers probably is number 2 simply because they have the best quarterback situation of any of the teams that are looking for a head coach, right? Better than Seattle, Tennessee, New England, Carolina, Atlanta, Vegas. Everybody loves the Atlanta job. I don't love it as much as everybody else does. Their team's so good, their roster. I'm not as convinced as everybody else is. And I agree with you on New England that I love the ownership and they've won there. I'm going to tell you, I like Tennessee. I like the culture. I think I like the ownership there. I like Will Levis more than most people do. So I think I might like Tennessee as the number 3.
Second and goal.
Ready, down, hood.
I did not expect you to say Tennessee, but I like that. I really like Rand Carthon as well. It's a good GM. So let's go to the big one here. Who would you take if you're starting a franchise today? Belichick, Carroll, or Saban?
I think Pete Carroll. It's hard not to take Belichick to start a franchise, but I'm not sure simply because of player evaluation. That's where I want to start. I mean, if you tell me I've got something established and I want to give it to somebody, I think I might go with Belichick. Saban, just because he doesn't have an NFL track record. I think if I was starting of those 3, I'd go with Pete Carroll.
Bill Belichick.
Just because he's won more than anybody else?
I think Bill Belichick, what he's done defensively.
Okay.
What he can do, Bill Belichick himself, the foundation, bringing everything in. And I think Pete Carroll is closer than a lot of people are going to realize in this conversation. It's just as a coach, because Pete Carroll has a very good general manager in Seattle with what they've done over the last few years. So if you can give Bill Belichick, just focus on coaching, pair him with someone to run a front office, I think you still have some good things ahead.
Third and goal.
All right, now on to the actual games. We talk a lot about NFL teams' Super Bowl window opening and closing. Well, this Saturday we have a rookie in C.J. Stroud that's going to lead his team, the Texans, to the wild card round. Is the Super Bowl window open right now for Houston? And if not, when does the window begin to open for up-and-coming contenders?
Window is open right when you're in the playoffs, because there's no guarantees. We talk so much about you got to go in there, learn how to win, take your lumps, but so many things change with injuries. It's hard to win games in the NFL. Is you can ask the same exact question last year about Trevor Lawrence, and it was a no-brainer. Oh yeah, Trevor Lawrence, Doug Peterson's there in the playoffs. They just won a playoff game. Watch out. And where are they now? So the window is any time you're in the playoffs.
I disagree. I don't think it's open. I think their what's the word I'm looking for? Their growth, their ascension has begun. I don't believe their Super Bowl window's open. To me, Super Bowl window being open means there's a realistic chance they're going to win the Super Bowl. I just don't think there is. I don't think they're getting through Cleveland and then Kansas City and then Baltimore or whatever. Now, the ascension is open. I think that they are so far ahead of schedule that their Super Bowl window may open way sooner than we thought. But to me, Super Bowl window being open is do you think they're going to be in the Super Bowl? Do you think they have a real chance? I just don't. I think they're nice. I think I love the young quarterback. I think what they've done defensively is spectacular. I love their ascension. I do not think their Super Bowl window is open, but it might be next year, and it could be the year after that.
Fourth and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, Saturday evening's matchup in Kansas City will likely be affected by weather. With the weather factor in play, these offenses could operate very differently than what we saw during the regular season. So I'm going to throw out a few interesting prop bets I found, and I just want to see what you guys expect from the Chiefs-Dolphins game, okay?
Let me start off. Likely be a factor. Let me give you Saturday night in Kansas City. Windy, isolated snow showers, a low of 6 below, wind chill values as low as 26 below, windy with a northwest wind 14 to 22, gusts as high as 33. Likely to be a factor.
I'm expecting it to be 60 degrees and sunny.
All right, where it will be in your living room.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on. Passing yards over under. Mahomes 248.5, Tua 238.5.
I'm going to go under all of it, man. I'm going to go under all of that in those conditions.
I'll go Mahomes under Tua over.
Because he has to throw because they're going to be behind, or what? Or you just think, okay.
I'm going 240 yards for each quarterback.
I'm going under both.
Interesting. All right, how about receiving yards? Over under. Tyreek Hill 85.5, Rashee Rice 63.5, Travis Kelce 56.5.
Hill over, Rice under, Kelce over.
Kelce over, the other two under.
All right. And so this is for total touchdowns. 1 touchdown over under. Travis Kelce, Raheem Mostert, or Isaiah Pacheco.
Over. So is it
For
a
each
half?
of them?
Is it 1.5? Where we go?
It's
What's
one,
the
it's
number?
one even for each of them. Yep.
I'll go overall.
So you're expecting a big game then.
I mean, I'm expecting 21 points to win. I don't expect to. I mean, what's the over under total on this thing?
I was
I'm
saving
just
that for
telling
the
you,
free
man,
for all.
26 below is stupid. I don't know what it feels like. I just know it sounds stupid. Like I don't want to know what 26 below feels like. I just don't. I don't want to play in that. I don't.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
I'm sure it's miserable.
It is.
Looks like it looks miserable on TV while I'm sitting there with a blanket over me and a bourbon in my hand in my warm house.
Got fire going.
And how about the people who sit there? Okay, but go ahead. Hit your number. What are you going over?
I am going under on all of them.
Okay.
I think Mostert and Pacheco
So nobody's
find the end zone, but not multiple times.
Yeah, I mean it's one, so you can't lose. You push out. What's the coldest game you've ever been to?
It's funny you should ask. It was the Ravens, Broncos in the playoffs. I guess that was a divisional round game when the Ravens ended up beating the Broncos in double overtime.
Joe Flacco?
Yeah, that would be the guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it Raheem Moore who doesn't know how to play safety?
Also correct.
Yeah, I remember you guys not happy about that.
I got a story about that. We were sitting in the stands. It was freezing cold. There was this gentleman right in front of us that decided he was going to take off his shirt and leave it off until the Broncos scored again.
Right.
And it never
What's he
happened.
proven, dude? Like I never understood that guy.
I don't either. I really don't. Because, I mean, the guy's turning red. It's like he has medics coming saying, please put on your shirt. And he's like, not until they score. And they didn't score.
Has he put on the shirt since?
He's the type of guy who might not have a second shirt.
He's just still standing out there at the stadium. I'm waiting for that next playoff score.
He's ready. He's ready.
What's yours?
Coldest game I've been to. I think it was New Mexico Bowl against San Jose State.
The very first one. Yeah, it was chilly.
Because there's wind involved.
When Dick Tomey got hit with the water, with the Gatorade thing, with New Mexico had just scored to make it 20-12, and they doused him with the water before and he was pissed.
Kill someone, dude.
He was like, if you pull up the video of late Dick Tomey, he was pissed. And then New Mexico got the onside kick. It was 20-12. Lobo scored with like 50 seconds to go, and they doused him. And he's like, what? He was pissed. And the Lobos got the onside kick, but they were offsides. So they got the ball back, but then he was fine.
What about a bucket of red chili?
Yeah,
that they're on winning.
1992 Apple Cup. They called it the Snow Bowl. It was Drew Bledsoe's last game at Washington State. The Apple Cup. Washington State beat Washington 42-23 in Pullman. They went on to play, I think, in the Copper Bowl that year. But it was the Snow Bowl. I got. I'll show you the video that did. It was. That was when I was a California kid working up in Washington, and I had like what I thought was a California warm jacket. And they were all telling me about winter, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I got this jacket, dude. And it was one of those unbelievable games. Yes, here's the video. It was just that was my first introduction to, oh, Toto, you're not in Kansas anymore, kind of a moment. Although you're going to laugh at me for being, look at all the snow on the field, dude.
Yeah.
That was, we couldn't get out of Pullman.
You get kind of like two different snow games.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Terribly cold snow games where it's just coming down. And other times you're just like, what are we doing?
Well, look at the amount of snow piled up on the sides there. This was when my girlfriend's mom lived in Pullman at the time. And we like crashed there. We just couldn't get out. You're going to tell me I'm soft. There was, back in like about the same time, San Diego State, you're going to stop it. San Diego State played BYU. Robbie Bosco. Aztecs were up like 42-17 or something. It ended in a 52-52 tie. And it was Thanksgiving time, and it was so cold. It was that wet, like mid 40s, and you're like, shut up. But yeah, I don't know that it's one of those that stands in my mind. I was that cold, but it wasn't one of these. This game in Pullman, that Drew Bledsoe's last game in Pullman, the Apple Cup
remember
was,
that?
oh, good Lord. That was a cold that I'd never felt before.
I just haven't experienced enough football stadiums like in the winter.
Yeah,
outside
on
New
that
Mexico.
sorry about that. On the Broncos game, that was actually the coldest game ever at Mile High. And we had parked at the university across the street because I had free parking. So we had to walk probably about half a mile from the stadium to the car. And oh my goodness, it just, you felt it in your bones.
Yeah. And you can't get warm.
And you just lost the game.
And then you lose.
Double overtime.
And then your flask runs empty and you got no more antifreeze left and you don't know what to do.
You know what, though? It was so cold. It was like drinking just didn't even sound fun.
Really?
It was that cold.
See, at that point, why are you there?
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
I mean, and that's what kind of where led me into this. There's going to be, 70,000 people in Kansas City sitting there in 29 below wind
because
chill.
they are strong men and women. They love their team. They are the true fans. They are the reason we have a job.
God bless them. And we can't, I mean, we get a little wind or a little sun. Remember, it's too hot to go out to a Lobo game in September, but it's too cold in November. I mean, that's what we're dealing with. All right, 505-246-06.
America.
Hey, what's the coldest game you ever been to? And why the hell did you go? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the Sports Animal. You're home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football and the Super Bowl.
It's a super wild card weekend.
Listen,
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
hey, look, it's Dwight Goodman.
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
TV you're going to watch on your couch. You got to buy it. You got to buy Peacock. Now, you already got Peacock, right? But it is exclusively on Peacock. How do you feel about that?
Part of life.
Okay.
They charge you for everything.
Jack says, I'm not paying for another package just to watch one game, Jeff. Not doing it.
Not going to do it.
All right.
Can't do it.
I think there'll be a lot of people say, you know what, I'm good, man. I'm going to watch hoops. If you're a fan of that team, you might find a way to watch it. It's a good one, right? Kansas City and Miami. You might go to a bar. Maybe they'll have it. Maybe they won't. What's it cost me? It's $5.99 a month, premium plans.
So it's essentially $5.99 if you want to watch an NFL game on Saturday.
And then you got to cancel it.
And then you'll cancel it.
Yeah.
Or you could write out the month and catch up on all those extended deleted scenes for The Office.
Okay. You got options. It'll be interesting to see how people react to this one. This will be the first time, right? Our playoff game is exclusively on paper. Pay-per. Yeah.
I believe for the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Gopher's got an NFL hot take. He says, we were reminded Saturday, Jeff, why we moved from grass to turf. The Ravens-Steelers was hard to watch on a sloppy track. The NFL is worth $1 gazillion. Why aren't teams, especially in the North, required to have an indoor gym? Nobody wants to see an ugly game played -6. I don't know. Some people do like that. So there's an argument to get off of grass and go to turf. I don't want to watch a sloppy game. I don't know. Lynn says, can I vent, Jeff? Why is Lobo basketball and the Lady Lobos playing at basically the same time? Some folks want to watch both. What time's the ladies on Saturday?
1.
And the men will be at noon.
Well, the men were TV game, so they got that slot.
That's the answer.
Yeah. Most of the games this year on Saturdays will actually be separate because the women are playing a lot of early tips off, which is fantastic because you can come back
get out of town. Yeah,
same day. Yeah. You save yourself a travel day. So I think that was a great move by the Mountain West Conference. 2 p.m. tip-offs for these teams.
So the majority of women's games are day games.
Yeah.
Lynn, the answer is CBS wanted the Lobo men's game on CBS. It's San Diego State and New Mexico. San Diego State is a national team now after playing in the national championship game. And being in the pit was attractive to them, and so they put it right in the middle of the day, and that's why. TV is 100% the reason for that. Gopher says, I agree with Edward. College athletics is a train wreck with mercenaries, NIL, etc. right now. I got to wonder if old school guys are going to start to bail. P.S. The Oregon dude is not a big enough name for Alabama. How about JJ's favorite, Urban Decay? There's not a chance Urban Meyer gets that job. Not a chance, right? No. I there's no way, right?
Sometimes you just have to move on.
Yes.
You do hear his name come up, though.
For that job?
Yeah. Not that job, but other jobs I've actually heard his name, and I thought he was kind of...
there's places that need to rebuild or build, for that matter, right? But this is as big a legacy job as there is in college athletics.
Well, let me ask you this. What if Ohio State opens up?
Okay.
Is that still... Would Alabama still be number one in that scenario?
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard Ryan Day's name for a number of NFL jobs, and boy, Ohio State fans like, get him out of here.
They want Vrabel.
Okay.
The fans, that is.
And it's here we go. Now we're having the conversation going the other way. Right? We're talking about would Saban take an NFL job?
If I'm Ryan Day, I'm like Jim Harbaugh, get out of here so I can win a game. Go take an NFL job.
Killing you fools until you got around. And only recently. The next domino is Harbaugh. Does Harbaugh make a decision before the Alabama job gets filled? Like when are we here Monday? Is Monday a holiday?
Monday is a holiday.
So am I working Monday?
You guys aren't. I get to cover the board over there.
Can I come in and work?
You should.
Oh, we're all.
I'm happy to.
There's going to be a lot to talk about.
All right, we'll have that conversation later.
What I have been reading, though, is that they expect Alabama to get filled this week.
Well, Greg Byrne said something like 72 hours, right? That he wants to make that happen. When we're sitting here Monday, Belichick have a job?
If he does, it might be Alabama.
I think the NFL...
Would that be something, huh?
Yeah.
That would be
Would that be something?
I think the NFL stuff might just take a few more days because you just have so many things you have to do.
Okay.
The Rooney rules, fair interviews, give guys the opportunity to get the job. And this is where it's I don't want to lose out on my candidate stuff with the NFL. Like, there's no need to rush a hire. Like, you're not missing out on the transfer portal. You're not missing out on free agency, but it's, oh my gosh, I need the hot guy now. This coaching cycle is unbelievable. He has Bill Belichick and Pete Carroll out there. You can maybe flirt with Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And then you have the up and coming.
Throw Pete Carroll into that mix on both the NFL. Oh yeah. Okay.
But then I'm not forgetting. I think Pete Carroll is fantastic. I'm with you. You listening to the things you've said about him. I think people forget how good he was, because when you combine what he did at USC and with the Seattle Seahawks, so you have these legendary coaches that are even going to get, I think, teams that are playoff teams flirting with them if they feel that they underachieved in the postseason. And of course, the up and coming candidates, and one of those guys is going to pop. And so this hiring cycle, where everyone wants to be first, I think they have time.
Yeah, there's going to be another high-profile gig, whether it's at Oregon or Ole Miss or wherever the Alabama replacement comes from. Yeah, and then look, Michigan could be open. We could have a hiring cycle where Alabama, Michigan, and then play your dominoes. Whether it's Oregon or there could be some really high-profile gigs open. Right? What does Michigan do if Harbaugh leaves? Who's their guy? Did they promote? Who's the gentleman that was the interim when Harbaugh was on suspension?
Well, which one? They rotated it early in the season.
Yeah, and then the second time they had the one dude.
And then you had the crying running backs coach?
The crying running backs coach, yeah.
He loved it, man. That's my coach.
Yeah.
You know who was sitting there nodding his head going, that's a great post game. Yes, DC knows.
Okay.
Quarterback.
It's my coach. Yes. Yeah, I think everything's on the table at this point. Everything is on the table at this point.
Have you been this just excited or interested in coaching moves in an offseason?
Yeah, interested is more the word for me, but it's been a long time. Just because
a lot of times it's guys we just don't know.
Right.
Oh, defense.
Like last year, Shane Steichen and Gannon and This year, it's legendary names, and I don't think I'm exaggerating saying legendary names when it's Saban and Belichick and Harbaugh and whatever, Pete Carroll.
Let me ask you this: JJ just asked about excitement.
Mm-hmm.
What were you guys thinking or feeling when you actually heard this news roll out over the last day?
Well, so the Saban thing to me, I literally told you I thought NFL. Why is he doing? I think he's going to the NFL.
You're speaking that into existence.
I'm not necessarily, but that was you asked me what my first thought was when I heard the Belichick thing this morning. I'm like, yeah, that did not stun me at all. And the Pete Carroll one was like, that's a bummer to me because it feels like a dude that did so much there and still feels like there's a lot left. And by the way, did not have a 4-13 season.
Nick Saban one, it shocked me. I know that's one of those filler words we use a lot in these conversations. I was not expecting Nick Saban to go anywhere this offseason. And then especially when you hear the fact he was doing his normal job yesterday until the afternoon. He was on an SEC conference call. He's doing interviews for the program. And then he's just like, you know what? I think I'm done. I'm just going to
have lunch and just go whack.
It was wild because I had just finished watching the Pete Carroll press conference, and then that popped up. And I got to be honest, I was shocked too on that one because I'd heard rumors over the last few years about Saban, but it's like it actually happened, so it was surprising in that way. But there was a moment, even throughout this morning, where I don't know if sad's the right word, but it does feel like there's a passing of the torch going on, and like everything I grew up with has kind of gone away with these three guys. So it just, there's a certain level of nostalgia, and I don't know. It's wild to me that arguably three of the best coaches in football in less than one day all are gone. It's shocking.
And Harbaugh may be a fourth, and he's second now, right? Or he may not.
Two of them still want to coach, it seems like. Belichick and Carroll.
Yep. And they're all like 71, 72. They're all right in that same demo.
If you said Pete Carroll, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, who is the youngest one? of the group, what would you?
I think Saban is he not?
Bill Belichick.
Is it Belichick? No.
Yeah, that's surprising. And I was thinking about this earlier. Pete Carroll feels
That's the close a long time too.
I was right by the button.
Thank you. No, thank you.
He's young at 71.
A spry 71. But yeah, Pete Carroll feels younger to me.
No doubt.
Of the three.
No doubt. No doubt.
Do you think that's an endorsement to chew gum? Just keep you moving. Just
keep your if you keep your
jawline strong,
shape, your mandibles in shape, and you're burning calories.
Do you think maybe it's the discontinuation of the Fruit Stripes gum possibly that pushed them over?
I'm wondering what is actually in the gum.
In the
Pete
Fruit
Carroll's
Stripe?
been chewing.
Oh, what do you think? What does he chew?
Yeah,
because whatever it is, like the everlasting gobstopper,
keeps him going.
Yeah, whatever it is. All right, when we come back, there's actual football stuff to talk about. Rams and Lions this weekend, and all the talk has been about Matty Stafford going back to Detroit. And the Lions quarterback's got a chip on his shoulder, too. He feels shunned by the opponent. It's not all about Matthew Stafford. What the other quarterback says about the chip on his shoulder next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night football, and the Super Bowl.
Lobo Women.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up. Okay. Thank you.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
According to Jerry Kill, as it is close to finalizing, it'll be a consultant at Vanderbilt.
Kind of what the report was the day he left, right? That he'll join that staff, but not really the staff, because that's how you get extra coaches. Just call him a consultant or whatever. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and DC. 505-246-0610. Rams and Lions this weekend. All the talk's been about Matthew Stafford going back. But you got to remember who Matthew Stafford got traded for. It was a first-round pick and Jared Goff. And Goff feels like he'll always be underrated. He's got a chip on his shoulder as well. Of course, you said yesterday, I think it'll never leave me. I think that's a good thing. I so badly want to win a playoff game for the city that hasn't had one in so long. We got a home playoff game for the first time in so long, and that's much more important than anything personally for me. I want to be part of this win and do my job the best of my ability, end quote. Yeah, but. Yeah,
to
but.
beat the Rams would be sweet.
That's the franchise that gave up on me. That's the franchise. I got them to a Super Bowl. They gave up on me, and then they went on and won a Super Bowl.
And then they won it, so it stings a little bit more.
Yeah, but no doubt, man. That's the other part of what makes this matchup so juicy on Sunday night. Rams, Lions, Sunday night. Spectacular. He should have a chip on his shoulder, shouldn't he?
Yeah. It's one where you always need to find something. And for Jared Goff, he looks and says, we went to the Super Bowl. That could have been me. It's not. You watch Matthew Stafford win it, and now you have to defend your home turf against Matthew Stafford and the Rams coming in and to try to snap. What happened in the past has nothing to do with this team,
right?
But it weighs on the minds of the fans. It weighs on everyone that watches the Detroit Lions. Been so long. And then you have the, oh no, is it going to be this guy? Is it being the guy that was never good enough for us? We couldn't win.
Yep.
Finally got him out of here, and then we watched him in a Super Bowl.
No doubt. Clarification, Mike says on the Peacock game, the Kansas City-Miami game, which is Saturday night exclusively on Peacock. He says, it says the game's on Peacock, Jeff Alou, which is misleading. I have one of the very first Peacock accounts way back before most folks even heard of it. It was like P-Chick back then. It's kind of funny. Yet last time an NFL game was on there, I couldn't watch because my subscription isn't good enough or high enough level, and I'm not buying another paid subscription for just one game. All right. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Rudy.
Hello. Well, we talk about convergence, right, where you can watch basketball and football at the same time. Now we're watching the convergence of coaches. I didn't think there'd be that much movement, especially with the names that are out there. Who knows? Maybe Harbaugh wants to see if he can win a Super Bowl trophy and have a national championship trophy, because he was talking about getting shut out at the Thanksgiving table. Did you hear that conversation?
Mm-mm. Oh, yeah,
So-
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, he had to sit at the little kids' table for Thanksgiving because, John has a Super Bowl championship and his dad won a national championship at Western Kentucky. So now he can sit with the big people.
Boys. Yeah, the adult table. Yeah, I did hear
Yeah, who knows what Harbaugh's going to do, but I think it would require some type of equity position in an NFL team for him to leave. I don't think he's just going to leave just for money, because he's going to be the highest paid coach in college football for what that's worth.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know if what he went through is worth enough for him to stay. His kids are younger and they do like living in Ann Arbor, but it's pretty brutal during the winters. And I think San Diego, well, I guess it's L.A. I can never get used to that, Jeff, and I'm sure you can't either.
Nor should you. Yeah.
It's always been the San Diego Superchargers, and I just don't know how that thing fell through. But here we are in sports. It's I don't know where Saban's going to go. I don't know if he wants to coach anymore. 72 is pretty old to set the pace in the NFL with some of those coaches and what goes on It's just an interesting time, and we'll see what happens. I I don't know. Sharon Moore is the name of the guy at Michigan.
That's right.
And they'll probably elevate him. I mean, he proved that he could prepare a team and that he could make head coaching decisions. So I don't know why you'd go outside the quote-unquote Michigan family, because every time they've done that, it's been a disaster, a la Rich Rodriguez.
Brady Hoke.
That was, those were not good hires, and they set Michigan back. And so now we're back to where they should be in the conversation every year. So that's my take on that. This Saturday, it is a huge game. They got to figure out a way to beat San Diego State. And San Diego State comes in with a head of steam, and I still think they're the team to beat until somebody proves differently. So if you're going to make any kind of noise, Saturday at noon on CBS is the time to do it. And it just seems to me like the last time we did this was years ago when Utah came in undefeated, nationally ranked, and Royce Olney made the three-point shot that was heard around college basketball that weekend. So maybe we can have a repeat.
Enjoy it. I know you'll be out there, Rudy. Thanks for the call.
We will.
505-246-0610. It's a big one Saturday. Stripe out. They're asking you to check your section. Go to golobos.com and see what color to wear, cherry or white. They're having a stripe out at the pit on Saturday. Howard, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
Good day, guys. Hey, Rudy, don't feel bad. To me, it's San Diego Chargers, Eric Coryell, and Dan Fouts. That's my memory of them. So, Anyway, I got to tell you, Jeff, I'm going to offer my services. You need to let JJ have the day off on Monday, but if old Blue Eyes wants to be in there on Monday morning, I'll offer my services, and I'll be old Bloodshot Eyes after my Cowboys win on Sunday.
I'm good with that, man. I'd love to work on Monday. I hope I get to. Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting weekend sports-wise, and I think there's going to be a lot of content that you guys are going to have on Tuesday when you come back to work. It's going to be an interesting show. But as far as the Peacock game, I'm not watching, even though I haven't. I mean, I'm not going to watch. I'll be at a retirement party. So anybody, reach out to me via Facebook, and I'll leave a key under the mat,
All right, I'll be at your place on Saturday night.
Yep, I'm excited for the Lobo game on national TV, but I created my own scheduling conflict. I'll be taking 4 grandkids to go see Migration, so I'll be. Yeah, well, can't let those grandkids down, Jeff.
I get it.
Yep.
All right, well, enjoy that.
Hey, have a good one, guys.
All right, see you.
Go Cowboys.
All right. Hey, this says on the text line, is the NFL is the only league that every year makes the product more expensive and more difficult to access and still grows. Is there a tipping point for the NFL, or can they do anything they want?
They can do anything.
Okay.
Remember when so many people were saying they were never watching football again, and they're done with it, and it's going to die?
I do.
One NFL playoff game on Peacock is not going to change that.
Do you think people are going to buy that in the numbers they expect?
Do you want the PC answer or the real answer?
I want the real answer. The
real answer is you're going to call your friends who have it, just like Howard.
Yeah, we're going to Howard's house.
And they're going to give you their login stuff. That's life.
Oh, we're not going to his house and bringing beer? I'm going to log in myself?
Yeah.
All right.
That's what happened. And then you get the crackdowns, and so many people can't watch Netflix anymore because they're using best friend's Netflix account. And it's life in the streaming era.
All right, we're going to DC's place. Man, he's way out in Rio Rancho, way out there. And if the roads are bad, and then what are people least likely to do? Go to an event at the Rio Rancho Event Center and complain about the drive out there, or buy a game on Peacock. In Albuquerque,
they will buy a game on Peacock.
Really?
Before going to the Rio Rancho Event Center.
Not a non-Cowboys game. Yeah, see, making you think.
They might as well start having flights from the Sunport to Rio Rancho with the way people act.
Fair enough. All right, 505-246-0610. If you still want to get in, we got time for you. Recap everything that's happened this morning. And what you need to know as you go through your Thursday when we return. Here on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, Sports Animal, your own for Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night football, and the Super Bowl.
This is former.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Life and shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses.
Belichick out. They're going to have a press conference here in about 11 minutes. In New England, in Foxborough, he's parting ways with the Patriots. What does that mean? Where does it go? So everybody's going to be talking about, man. Everybody's going to be talking about Nick Saban out. People will be talking about who's going to take those jobs. Pete Carroll out. It's all about the NFL coaching cycle. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. 888-922-0610. Your emails come in as they have been all morning. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. We've been on video. Adrian's doing a great job over on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26. And and wherever you want us. If you miss something, all the podcasts are up. The show's up every day over on wherever you get your podcasts, but certainly on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Mud says Mud will be at the pit. Come out and pack the pit. Mud will sign autographs. Go Lobos. So get Mud's autograph if you want. He'll be out there. Something's going to go today, man. What do you expect to come out of Belichick speaking? You guys said you expected him to be personable, affable, just a different cat, huh?
I was joking a little, but I do actually expect a different version of him. It's not going to be the mumbling and grumbling. I when I walk away from that, I bet I'm thinking that's a guy who's just had a ton of weight lifted off his shoulders.
I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Is he even going to speak today?
Great question. I would assume he
There's
would.
nothing scheduled.
There's not a press conference here in 9 minutes?
Is there?
I saw, yeah.
And then maybe I just missed. I
saw
apologize.
that.
I just missed that.
Yeah, I saw that, that they are. All right, we'll watch. You brought this up. A promoter in Southern California. He's a promoter that, what is he, a wrestling promoter? Is that what it is? The Irrelevant Bowl. Take the two worst teams in college football and make a spectacle out of them. NCAA shot this down yesterday. Dr. Jim was hitting me. He was all fired up. Make this happen. This has to happen. I'm like, there's not a chance in hell. Why would the NCAA do this? Why would bad teams do this? Why would, I guess it's kind of.
I know why
the
bad
promoter
teams
would do it. Why would a bad team do it? If you're 0-12.
Exposure?
Really?
In the Irrelevant Bowl? Yes.
So if you were 0-12 and pick, let's just say, give me a school. Pick it. I mean, whoever. You would go play in this? You would take your team after 0-12, 1-11, and go say, look at us, we're horrible, and we're going to play in this. You would do that?
Kent State, Akron,
all right,
Nevada.
So you would do that?
UL Monroe.
Okay. Why? What's the exposure?
The gift suite.
Fair enough. The backpack and the gift suite and the eyewear?
The lunch you get.
Okay. You would do it for lunch. Okay.
It's about the student athlete's experience.
NCAA said flat out no. Yeah, there's not a chance we're doing that. You're getting sanctioned. There's no. There's no.
And how? So Kent State would be in it for sure this year. They're 1-11, but then Akron, Nevada, UL Monroe, East Carolina, all 2-10.
Okay. Aggies might have been this. So some of those lean years. Lobos might have been in this. Some of those lean years.
Mm-hmm.
Your fan base would be fired up.
2-10 Vanderbilt going.
That's where Jerry Kills just went. Right. There wasn't a chance it was going to happen. There just wasn't. All right. NBA stuff. This is the crap. What is that? This is a crap. That dude, Boban, the coach at Toronto, has gotten more love than anybody I've seen in a long time.
It's a complete crap.
It is. It is. His rant 2 nights ago was epic.
Outrageous.
I mean, it was outrageous. It was so good.
This is completely BS.
Yeah, 100%. It was complete BS. Like he's everybody's new favorite dude.
Is he?
Is it he?
Rome did like 30 minutes on it.
Did he really?
Oh, yeah.
You don't even remember his name.
Boban.
It's not Boban.
What is it? Darko. Whatever. He's still my favorite dude. Why do I have to know my favorite dude's
All
name?
European guys named Boban?
It might be. No, some of them are. Some of them are named Darko. I know 2 dudes ever named Darko. Why does I got to know his name to be my favorite dude? How many of you, your favorite band, you don't know the bassist? I mean, why do I got to know his name? Right?
Remember that Boban guy from that rant yesterday?
Darko, Boban, whatever, man.
Boban is a legend.
He's still my favorite dude. The other NBA thing that we didn't really hit this week, Kawhi Leonard, 3-year, $153 million extension. That was somewhat quiet, somewhat hidden in all this. Dude's balling. Clippers are balling. Like, I don't know how much NBA you're watching and when you start to watch, but it's not even quietly working. It's working. what the Clippers are doing right now is working. They are the 4th seed. They're just 2 games back of first place in the West. They're, the playing game line is it's right.
Kawhi Leonard on the court is the difference. Is he hasn't been hurt. He hasn't missed a lot of games this season. So you have him as a presence. Paul George, those guys setting the tone. Allow James Harden to just do his thing. It's always getting a regular season. Giant question mark will be the playoffs for James Harden. But I'm excited too with Kenny Thomason tomorrow at 9 a.m. to talk about the marquee games tonight. Boston, Milwaukee, Phoenix, Los Angeles. Your TNT doubleheader.
Yep, that's what you get. Boston, Milwaukee tonight, and the Lakers and the Suns. Good stuff today. Really, really good stuff today. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On is in at 4. I don't know. You want to come back and do it again tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.? We'll do that then. Great work, Adrian. DC, thank you. Great job. Where'd the youngster go? You point him off or what?
He's in school.
Oh, all right. That's where he should be.
That's impressive. He comes in, works a couple hours, goes to school.
Attaboy. Big day for you?
Huge day.
All right, enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
Here's Maldonado for 3.
Corner. Gatto drive baseline. This time he will take it to the rack.
He's so confident when he takes it to the basket.
On the board for her, 34-54. Behind the back dribble for Sosi, and Sosi buries the ball. Allison Sosi.
There's the Quan.
Still nothing. It's perimeter-oriented pass around.
But Quan fires the 3 and gets another one.
The basket will count for Junior Hogs, and he's fouled. Fouls on Juarez.
Great finish by Moore right
there. With it, kicks it over to Jennings for a 3. Oh, Santana calls bank off the window.
Has been stuck on 14 the last couple possessions. There's Chloe Brown, a right corner 3. It's short. Randall, the offensive rebound. Counted and a foul for Nadia Randall.
Thought about it, puts it on the court, pulls up, gives it to Brown. What is this? Oh, my goodness.
Sanchez has the 3rd one, so he's got 2 of those. Quick steal, and there's the basket to close out the quarter as Brandon Lopez with a big steal.
Question a little bit, and you got me thinking about it. You know, look at here.
Tipped away by Owino. Big smooth, big jam, big time finish.